To recap, here's our big board of all events in the neighborhood. So get active.
And man, Mark.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
And a look behind for the challenge ahead, hoping to come out of the gates strong. The tallest building in the United States, One World Trade Center, looking glorious tonight as we come to you from New York. We welcome you to PA It's All Yours.
Hey, Kevin, the Knicks have young talent and some promising draft picks. For that reason, they feel that
A little patience indeed. That's interesting. Thank you, David. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at New York. They're down at the 7th position right now. Decent start to the season, but they're looking to make a move. And, of course, the Wizards, 3 games behind.
Well, I think for New York, I love what they've been able to do this season. Last year, really just a struggle for them, but they really put that behind them.
Oh, they're a different team this year for sure. They've got that confidence, that drive back. That was missing for so much of last year.
So a look at the starters for the Wizards. Garnett out there with Howard. Then there's Dominique Wilkins. Then it's Paul George. And it's Richardson in at the 1 spot. And for New York, you've got Drexler. He's out there with Shaquille O'Neal. Then there's Porter. And it's Wallace in at the small forward. And it's in there. Greg, the 2 words you and I don't like the most in this game, load management. Why do we see more of it now than when you played the game?
A couple of things. I think sports science has evolved, and I've talked to a ton of coaches about this. The reality is determine if a guy is ready to go. Secondly, I would also say the contracts now, the investments that teams have in these assets, you want to try to prolong their careers as long as possible. And so I think it's a smart move from an investment standpoint.
You bring up some great points.
Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
Outside, George. Richardson against Porter. It's Richardson on the wing. And it's sent back by O'Neal.
And the aggressiveness on display here from O'Neal. Terrific at turning shots away with that size. And really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Now here's Drexler after the miss from Kevin Garnett. On the wing, Porter uses the glass to finish the layup.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Outside, George. About 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Pass to Wilkins. Hits the 3-point bomb.
Paul George will force you to stay balanced defensively because if you have a miscue, he will find the open guy.
Porter, bounce pass. He lobs it up, and Hayes throws it down.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. Here's Howard, and it's slammed in by Howard.
Dwight Howard has made a living off of dunks. My goodness.
Porter kicks to Hayes. Pass to O'Neal. Knocked loose. Howard with the steal. It's George on the wing. Wallace covering.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
Here's Porter. They grab their own miss. O'Neal. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
And it takes a lot to knock O'Neal off balance. A massive player who just fends off the D with ease.
So timeout called here. The first for Washington. come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I mean, just way too many turnovers in that one. If you can't protect the ball, you can't expect to win.
That's exactly right. Miscues drive a coach crazy. You're giving them more opportunities than you're giving yourself, and that's always problematic.
Every team hopes to have a player on this list. A quick update now on the top field goal percentage shooters in the NBA. Number 1, Jared Allen.
He is a finisher, plain and simple. That field goal percentage just absolutely jumps out at you. It borders on astonishing.
Now here's Allen. He's playing a...
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Ewing. Allen with the rebound. And so it's Porter bringing it up now for the Washington Wizards. They trail by 1. And Clark is right there.
And all of his athleticism on display there. Clark's work ethic makes him lethal on that offensive backboard.
And now it's Brown running. He can go all the way. Finished off the break.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
Going right to the rim, which is where you want transition opportunities to end.
Now here's Johnson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
And when you have this kind of size as a point guard, what a tremendous advantage. Magic can really match up with all 5 positions.
We have got to see that sensational mobile 1 block again.
Some intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be there all night long. And Jared Allen, the big man out of Texas, a big part of his impact is how well he moves as a center. Very long and covers a ton of ground on both ends.
And that one falls for Allen.
Well, think about Mr. Jared Allen. He was not the first family member to get picked in the NBA draft. Let's remember his dad taken by Dallas in the famous 1985 draft. His dad, however, would go on to have a playing career in Europe.
Here's Houston. Drills it from outside. Houston's got 5 now.
And not just a scorer, but a distributor as well. Porter's court awareness is really impressive.
And here is Johnson. The pass to Ewing. Shoots over Brown. It's Ewing that time, and the assist by Johnson.
And the insane peripheral vision there. If anyone's open, even for an instant, Magic's gonna find you.
A good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Wizards lead by 3. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. You might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Wizards?
Well, going to the bench early, they obviously knew what they were doing.
As a coach, I think you get a certain feel for what your team needs. And credit this guy for not waiting around. He went ahead and made the adjustment.
So the Wizards 5 right now. Jared Allen is out there with Clark. Then it's Michael Porter. Then there's Brown. And it's Houston at the 2 spot. There's the double team with Allen. Manning the pass to Ewing. And it's sent back by Allen.
Boy, you've got to watch those long arms of Jared Allen. Twice on the pipe, send it back. Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough